All right, Pisces, this is actually a really beautiful pull. It's not bad at all. And I don't think that you're going to be facing any kind of situations that are going to cause you to regret anything right now. I think this is more so advice for you for the week. So from the Halloween Oracle, Ghost, Regret, and then you pulled the Sun Dancers from Hidden Realms. Playful activity, celebration of life, and abundance. And this did show up as an ally, not a challenge. So it's a good thing. Basically, the two of them are just telling you that you need to enjoy your life and let go of whatever has been weighing you down. Regrets, grudges, anything negative. It's time to just release all of that. Now, the Sun Dancers also talk about you needing to give thanks in advance for all the good things that are going to come into your life. All right, Pisces. Here is your overall for the week. Woo, buddy. Yeah? The Ace of Wands. Perfect. So, a new opportunity, a new beginning, but this is going to be passionate and creative in nature. So this could be about, new creative ideas, a new job, a new relationship, new passion in your life, right? But it's all going to be about making the most of this right now. Oh my God. Oh, he has been showing up a lot, especially in this position. I can't, him and the Queen, I don't know what it is with these two. Now with the King of Pentacles as the past coming through, we could definitely be talking about a person that is coming through here. For some of you, it could be an earth sign. But with the King of Pentacles, right, we're talking about dependability. We could be talking about your overall success. This could be about work. You pulling on your wisdom through past experience here and making the most of a new opportunity here and it creating success, which is absolutely possible for some of you. For others, it's just going to be a person you're dealing with. But because of it being Pentacles, right, it could be somebody through work or somebody you're working with. Oh my God. Does this have to do with a Taurus possibly? Because Taurus had these two. Oh my goodness. The Ace of Pentacles in the present moment. It's beautiful. So not only are we looking at a new passionate beginning, but we're also looking at a beginning that is going to carry you through for the rest of your life. When I look at the Ace of Pentacles, I think of long-lasting sustainability, continued growth in your life, right? What is real, what is practical, but then there's also a passion there, which is great. Future conditions, you and the moon. I don't... Here's what I'm getting from this. I think for some of you, you may be in a place where you feel successful and there may be, these opportunities still coming through or things that you're working on. But with the Ace of Wands being the overall and looking at the moon, it's almost like looking at this and going, I don't know, right? With the moon, like I've always said, there isn't a lot of clarity there. It is about, paying attention to your instincts here and not getting caught up in, the illusion, so to speak. But it's also about looking at things in a very distorted way. And I don't think that it's about you looking at yourself that way, but I almost look at that Ace of Wands and the moon going, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? But like I've said with the moon, right, it is to me the opportunity to pull creativity and beauty out of the darkness, but there isn't a whole lot of clarity though. So there may be like a little bit of confusion as to, what to do with that damn Ace of Wands, because you've already got something right now in the present moment. But I look at that King of Pentacles and think, if this is about a person coming back through, there's still the question of dependability though with him, especially with the moon being there. I don't necessarily feel with what I'm looking at here that this is somebody who's trying to cast an illusion on you. It's more of, I don't get it. That's what I'm getting from the moon with that Ace of Wands. I don't get it, but it's there. Your best path to follow, the Eight of Wands. So, normally I would say with the Eight of Wands, this is one of those things where you may have to act quickly And I would usually say to people, don't, be so quick to act, or don't feel like you need to quickly make a choice here. But it may be one of those things where things are going to happen quickly and you may need to act in the moment. But with the moon being there, I don't think that there's a lot of clarity or understanding where this Ace of Wands is coming from, especially if it's coming from a person, but you're still looking at beautiful new beginnings here. I'm not understanding why the moon is there, so I'm waiting to see what's in your environment and coming out. But with the Eight of Wands, it could also be about needing to do some, more communicating here, and it may be through, the internet communications, right? But then also, with the Eight of Wands, I kind of feel like you need to just kind of like let things fall into place, and act when you need to, and you will know when you need to act, Oh boy, I'm telling you, oh, in your environment, the Two of Cups, now this could definitely be about a business partnership with somebody here, and there's like this fantastic idea, and it may be coming from you in the creative end here, right? But then with the Ace of Pentacles, definitely this is something that, has financial aspects to it, definitely. But this could be like the beginning of a long-term partnership, and it could be romantic, it could be business, and I think more business though, because I'm looking at these aces and the King of Pentacles coming through. It's almost like working with someone here, but again, for some of you, it may be about, a relationship or needing to see eye to eye with somebody to, get things going. But then I go back to the moon and I think, when the moon shows up, it's not really a time here to make any choices. But I think that, with the Eight of Wands, it's like, don't have, any expectations here, and don't make any rash decisions based on emotions. Just, you will know when you need to act, right? Let things kind of fall into place, But then I also think communication is important. Oh boy, your hopes and your fears, the Queen of Cups. Now, and I'm looking at that King of Pentacles. This isn't just a partnership here where there are emotions involved. I think that this is going to be something that is not just passionate here, but it's something that is, like I said, long lasting. Now, with the Queen of Cups being hopes and fears, it could be that you're fearing that there may be a little bit too much emotional attachment, whether that's, from the other person or from you. But the other thing with the Queen of Cups is, I think, being a little bit more in tune with your own emotions, especially if you are emotionally invested in a partnership, in, whether it's romantic or business here. Because I'm looking at the moon and I understand now if there's confusion surrounding the emotions having to do with another person and all these opportunities that are coming through, right? And then you have the Two of Cups needing to have this understanding. And for some of you, it's a question of dependability on the other person's part, I think, more so than anything else. And you could be dealing with another water sign or earth sign here. And then of course you have you going on. And then coming out, the Nine of Pentacles. To me, this almost feels like, I think that it's something that, you want to have happen, but then at the same time, you're wanting to kind of like remain independent from the situation. I don't think that it's necessarily that you don't want to have a connection. I think it's there, but I think that you're enjoying your own independence right now. But, wanting to make sure that, you are secure and stable regardless of whatever happens here. But I'm not really seeing it as a bad thing though. But I'm still looking at the moon and thinking there's probably a part of you that's kind of looking at this and it's not really clear. And that may be why, you're not really ready to kind of take action. But like I said, with the Eight of Wands, it's almost like, and again, I look back at the Sun Dancers and think divine timing, right? These things show up with divine timing, but you will know when to act. And then the Star, and that's not bad. You have the moon and the star. All right. Now with the Hangman, this to me almost feels like the reason why you're comfortable where you're at, and this may not really be something that you're willing to act on just yet, is because, this person may have like had you in this state of limbo before because of it being connected to the King of Pentacles. Now, with the Six of Swords and looking at the Ace of Pentacles and then the Two of Cups, this to me says that, yeah, there's the potential for this to be a long-term relationship and something that's going to carry you the long haul, but there's too much shit that's involved in this. And it's not like, the baggage that you have to take on, because it's not the Ten of Wands, but with the Six of Swords, to me, especially with the Nine of Pentacles, is I'm not dealing with that. We need to get past that conflict first before, this becomes a more clear situation. But then with the Star and then the Moon and looking at the Nine of Pentacles, it's one of those things where I think not only are you looking at bigger and better, but then there also is the potential that maybe this could be a healing thing for you. And I say that because I'm still looking at this, but I'm looking at this more so as you having problems with the way that you feel about it because of this person's issues. That, for me, is the best way to explain this. But there's potential here with the Star for there to be, that clarity, that illumination, and that understanding. But then, also having a situation that could heal a lot of the issues that may have happened before. Because, like I said, with this, I question the dependability of the other person. But everything else around it actually looks good. I just think right now, it is possible that for some you've created the gilded cage, and it's not so much that, there's a certain lifestyle that you want to live. I don't think that that's it. I think it's more so that, you are comfortable where you are at. So why should you open up? Especially if, somebody has kept you in this like state of limbo with the Hangman. Like, I've been waiting on this, and now you want to bring it up, like, wait a minute, and then the fact that there's still things that need to be moved away from, looking at the Six of Swords, right? But still, coming out with the Star, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. The potential for, a business partnership or a relationship to be healing for you is definitely there, but then there's also the healing that you need to do, right? Because with the Star, we also look at, the emotional balance that needs to be there, and I see you right here. So, and then I look at the Eight of Wands and think you're going to be required to act. And that is the only way that, this transition can be made, right? And of course, things are going to transition because you're starting to have more compassion, because you're able to bounce back. And again, with resilience, I kind of go back to Ghost. And I think, whatever regrets and things that you've been hanging on to, you've been able to bounce back from, but you still need to let it go, and that's kind of where compassion is coming through. And this creates that kind of transition for you, especially on an emotional level. It's not bad. Well, let's take a look at Whispers of Love. So, physical touch is important. That is basically, the advice on how to attract that same kind of energy back to you, right? Like, even if that means, giving a family member a hug or, right? But for some of you, this is what's important right now. And it's like, you need that. That may be where the compassion starts to come through, right? Like, even if you're having to bounce back here with resilience from, things that you've been hanging on to, maybe the way to kind of close the door on that is to just like, shake hands, shake it out, right? But turn on your heart light. This to me almost feels like, for some of you, if we're talking about love here, especially with the Two of Cups, it's like you need to have this in your life. You need to have that physical contact, that hug, that compassion, that feeling that somebody actually, cares for you and understands your own emotions. But you need to reflect on a time where you actually felt that way. You can't hold on to bitterness and, expect to have that kind of show up, right? And then I go back to your advice. But it's not a bad reading here. There is potential. But I think right now, some of you may just be comfortable where you're at, whether we're talking about business or love, And you do deserve bigger and better than what you've had before. Absolutely. But, if you're being asked to have compassion here and to let go of regrets or grudges, it may be that this person wasn't there for you before, but it looks like it's changing. It's changing, and that may be what's bringing up the confusion. But if you're okay where you're at right now, that's fine. I don't think that this is something that's going to pass you by looking at the Eight of Wands. I think you just need to let things happen. And if you want to act, act. And if you feel like you need to just, stay right where you're at, then that's fine too. All right, Pisces. So again, with Aries and Aquarius, I had to apologize for the late upload here. I had to go back and redo some afterthoughts for you guys. But I'm looking back at this reading now, and definitely, the big thing here is being grateful for the good things that are coming into your life, but there is a need to let go of regret and like past disappointment. And I think it does have to do with somebody who, dependability is questioned here. Whether we're talking about a business partnership or an actual relationship here, but it looks like there is an opportunity here for things to be better, and with the Ace of Pentacles there, and then looking at the Two of Cups, you're talking about, a long-term partnership here that has really great potential for continued growth. It looks really good. Now, with these two, though, I still get the feeling of looking at this and going, where is this coming from? Not really knowing what to do with that Ace of Wands, But I do think it's because somebody is coming through here and, that opportunity is being presented. Now, I do think, though, too, with the Moon and the Queen of Cups, that this is about you and kind of like where you are emotionally, and there not really being a lot of understanding. But then I also feel like maybe the confusion for some of you is the fact that you may be happy where you're at right now. And that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But though I do still get the gilded cage type of feel from this, just because of looking at the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. All three of them are a fantastic combo, but for you, I don't think it's on point just yet. If we're talking about, making a connection with somebody. Now, coming out here, it looks like, again, with questioning the dependability of a person, it's like they kept you in this state of like waiting. And I just don't think that you're willing to deal with, the kind of conflict that's surrounding this. But with the Star, there is potential for that to be healed, right? But I think for you right now, the reason why there's not like, the action is because you're okay where you're at. But, with the Eight of Wands, it's one of those things where if you want this, you may have to act in the moment. But even if you don't, like, it's okay to still remain independent. Like, you don't have to be fully involved or fully invested. It's funny because it almost has like just hold on a minute, right? Like, it's still there for you. I don't think it's going to pass you by, but it potentially could be. But I still see you being okay regardless coming out on this. Now, as far as resilience and compassion, being able to bounce back from whatever, disappointments, if we're talking about somebody who wasn't dependable, having a little bit more compassion. But then, it moving into a place where there is a transition that is happening for you. Things that are moving into a different place, in a more calmer place, especially with the Six of Swords and looking at the Star. Like I said, the potential there is really good. Like, really good. But I still look at that King of Pentacles and think, follow through. Now, as far as Whispers of Love, I think some of you are needing this, like needing to go back to a time where you remember, actually feeling what love was like. And I think physical touch is important here. I think some of you are wanting to have this. And that's kind of why you're looking back on, when you experience those moments, right? But again, it's all about attracting love, how to attract love with Whispers of Love. So, with physical touch again, right? Like giving a hug to people, being more open in a physical sense, and I don't mean that in a weird way, like, good job, give me a hug, I haven't seen you in a while, or a handshake, whatever. But this to me has the feeling of, there being something really good coming through, but you not really ready yet, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to, and I'm not going to tell you that you have to. With the Eight of Wands showing up as your advice, When it feels right to act, you will know when to do that action or what steps you need to take next.